Hi guys, welcome back to yet another video. My name is Martin. I'm filming this in my storage unit tonight. What I do on this channel is I show off 4 books that I've selected from random and I end on a key issue. I like to try and show off books that don't get a lot of attention on other channels. So if that's something that you're interested in, please consider liking and subscribing. The first one I'm going to show off is this. This is Strike Force Mirituri, issue 22. And I don't think Mark Bagley is still on the book. This kind of looks like a Mark Bagley cover, but I don't know if he's doing the interiors. This was an interesting concept where we had these people who signed up to. It wasn't really a government experiment; it was more like a corporate experiment, and they knew that they were going to be given superpowers. They didn't know what superpowers they were, but they knew that their superpowers would eventually kill them. So yeah, we who are about to die. So yeah, an interesting concept because what makes a person sign up to something like this? What stage in your life do you need to be at that you think, okay, in 2 months' time, I'm not going to be around anymore, but I'm going to dedicate myself to being a superhero and going on these missions. Yeah, just as I said, an interesting concept, but if you're going into this series looking for like the next Spider-Man or Captain America or next big name superhero, you're not going to get that because these were characters who were kind of disposable, but that was the point of the series. So yeah, there we go. That's issue 22 of Strike Force Mirituri. Next up, we have Superman Batman issue 16, written by Jeff Loeb with Carlos Pacheco Carlos Pacheco on art duties. And I just remembered about 2 years ago, Jeff Loeb was down here in Melbourne for the Supernova convention, and someone asked him about Carlos Pacheco, who had just passed away like a week prior to the convention. And yeah, they asked, what was it like working with Carlos? And Jeff mentioned this story in particular. And Jeff said what he would do before he worked with any artist, he would say, what are you interested in? And he said Carlos wrote back to me with a list of everything from DC that he wanted to draw. And he said, is there any way that you can get all these different characters from all these different genres and put them into a Batman Superman story and make it make sense? And Jeff said, that's a challenge. I can certainly try. And so what we have here is we have a time jumping, time hopping story with Batman and Superman, and they're going all over the place into the far future, further into the future with Kamandi. There was the Legion of Superheroes. They even went back into the Wild West for Jonah Hex. It was a fun read, and if you're a fan of Carlos's artwork, which I certainly am, this is kind of a guilty little pleasure. So yeah, that's Superman Batman issue 16. Next up, we have issue 140 of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles by Eastman and Sophie Campbell. So Kevin Eastman and Sophie Campbell. And for the first 100 issues of this series, it was a great read. It was so much fun. It took me back to being a Turtles fan in the 90s. But then shortly after the 100th issue, um, social politics and gender politics kind of took over the series for like 35 issues. The artwork was nice. The concepts were enough to keep me going, but yeah, it was starting to drag. And then Eastman was brought in, and Tom Waltz was also brought in, or brought back, to kind of spruce up the series before the big 150th final issue. And this series ended on a bit of a bang. But yeah, this issue was kind of what's the word I'm looking for? It was just like a stepping stone to kind of changing the direction of where the book was going, or where the book could have gone by the 150th issue. Yeah, I do have every single issue. I do still continue to get the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles because, as I've said in other videos, my collection is bigger than any one creative team. I choose to get these comics because I am a lifelong fan. So like, it's the same with like the Flash and Fantastic Four. I'm not enjoying those books at the moment, but creative teams come and they go, and there's always the next issue, and the next issue can always surprise you. So I would say, if you find a book that looks interesting at your local comic book shop, pick it up, give it a try. You never know, you could be in for a nice surprise. And that kind of gets to the key issue for this video. It's this one. It's Old Man Logan Annual 1, and I was not getting the Old Man Logan series until after this issue. So I remember I went to All Star Comics and it was on the shelf, and I picked it up because it had Frank Castle in the book, and I was like, wow, this is great. This is Frank Castle as an old man, you know, and he's still angry, he's still vengeful, and you know, what is going to happen in this issue. And I was so surprised with how violent and how complex both of these characters were, that I put Old Man Logan on my standing order, and I ran with it for the rest of the series. So yeah, that's another example of trying out a book and, you know, just hoping for the best, seeing if there's anything you like. And yeah, with me, certainly there was lots to like. Now, I will also add, I was looking for this issue. I was doing a spotlight video on the Punisher, and I wanted to end on this this issue because I thought this was such a big key in terms of Frank's story. I couldn't find this book to save myself, and then it was up there, and just hiding away. And I was like, oh, of course, I was going to find it after the fact. So that's the video for today or tonight. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Please like and subscribe if you wish to. I'd really appreciate it. Thank you as always, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.